I'm sorry, what was I supposed to talk about?
Your blog.
My blog. Well, it's adamaskwhy.com. Can you hear me okay back there in the... Yeah. I started it just kind of for myself, and it has grown. There's probably about 600, a little less than 600 articles on bonsai, and it's a couple on how to make soup. It's one on how to make Pochilakaria chutney. There's one on an omelet. I did an omelet too. Not that I'm a cook, but you know. There you go. Yeah, it sounded like my voice was going right out the door. And if you can't hear me, just throw something up here so you can hear me. I'm not good at talking about myself, so if you have questions, anyone that I can answer questions easier. At current, I am the corresponding secretary of the Bonsai, or the Central Florida Bonsai Club. I've been president, vice president. That's it, I think. And the Bonsai Societies of Florida, which is like the Lone Star Bonsai Federation. I'm the second vice president, and I run the conventions. So if you have questions about the convention.
And can you tell them about what you're going to be doing in Missouri?
In Missouri?
Yeah, the convention.
A friend of mine had an idea to have a big show in Missouri. He figured in the middle of the country, it'd be easier for people to come instead of going up to Rochester or all the way over to California. Everybody could come towards here. We're going to have Guy Guidry. You guys know Guy Guidry. Randy Bennett, Ed Trout, Jennifer Price, a gentleman from Argentina, Sergio Luciani, the current BSF president, Catherine Harris. They want me to do something, but I don't really want to do anything, so I'm going to be running it. So we're going to be asking for people to bring trees for the exhibit. We're going to have cash prizes like they do. The difference between this one and some of the other big shows is it's going to be all the profit is going to go to charities. We're trying to get sponsorships to pay for the show so that there's more money to go out there. It's going to be in Springfield, Missouri at, the way I would describe it would be the Walt Disney World of Bass Pro Shops. It's a giant place. They have an aquarium that's, except for 1 year when they were doing renovations, it's been voted the best aquarium in the country. And Springfield's a really nice place to go. I guess it's a lot like most other places to go, but it's a good place. There's a lot of banks. There's a lot of Chinese food places. There's a lot of churches. And then we're trying to turn it into a bonsai mecca for people. What else?
When is it?
Oh, that'd probably be the good. It is going to be June 6th and 7th next year.
26.
6th and 7th.
6 and 7. The beginning
26, yeah. 26,
Oh,
yeah.
26. Oh, yes.
I'm like,
There's a website out there right now. It's the United States Bonsai Open is the website. Right now it's just the main page, but as they get more stuff coming out with it, you'll be able to get more information there. But it's United States Bonsai Open.
there is a Facebook page out there too. So look for more information as we come up for that. Bonsai Societies of Florida show, we're going to focus on smaller trees, Shohin, this year. So if you want to show your trees, to become a member of BSF, it's just $15. And you can show, and if you're a member of BSF and you want to submit a tree for the Epcot at Walt Disney World, they have a whole flower and garden festival, and you could have a tree on exhibit. it is literally the most people to ever see a bonsai tree. They have about 6 million people that go through to see those trees.
Do they have people there that's smart enough to take care of the trees?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have their horticulture people, they water them, and then somebody from Bonsai Society of Florida goes in and actually maintains the tree. So an actual bonsai person is going in once a week and working them in the tree.
And I'm on that list to go take care of the trees and stuff. And I may be able to come and get the tree and deliver it for you if you don't want to make the trip to Orlando. Do you want to know about me?
Yes.
So I was born in a blue class tough guy town, Brockton, Massachusetts. If you guys know who Rocky Marciano, that's my hometown. I was the youngest of four, broken family. My father was.
Still the youngest of four?
Yeah, well, no, youngest of three. One of my sisters has passed away, but
I didn't mean that.
yeah, that's fine. I'm still the youngest because I can't get older than the rest of them. So what time is it? 7. So I have to be done at what time? Anybody?
8:15.
8:15.
You have an hour and a half.
Okay, so I'm not going to talk about myself anymore. Unless you have a question, My bonsai training, I'm of the belief that we should be learning from everybody. And I'm not a jealous bonsai teacher either, so I have 5 study groups that I teach in Florida every month. And I encourage whenever there's another artist for my students to go and learn from them. I know there are some very jealous bonsai people, but I'm not one of them. I believe that each person has their own vision of what a tree should look like. And it's almost a psychological thing I get into really deep subjects. So there's this concept of epistemology, how we know what we know. And I've gotten into Plato. There's a priori knowledge and all this kind of stuff that we won't talk about because I need to be done in an hour and a half.
And forgot to introduce your wife.
Oh, Becky or Rebecca? She's the brains behind the beauty. No. She's keeping me straight on this trip here because I'm like, okay, what city am I in today? What am I doing? I've done long trips before, but this is probably the longest by maybe about 6 days or so. Maybe, I think. I usually make a trip up Ohio, up into Michigan, down through like Kentucky and Tennessee and all that kind of stuff once a year. And then I've been going to Missouri a bunch because Missouri is lacking in bonsai education. You guys are very unique here with the Lone Star Bonsai Federation that parent organization can bring people like myself or like who was the last, like Jennifer Price, Rob Kempinski, Julian Zai, to bring those people in to teach you something and get you thinking about something else besides, San Antonio and those weird name Husic. What are those trees? Wassick?
Trash tree.
The trash. We I cannot. You keep saying, and I can't. There's too many H's and U's and I's and S's and if I can find my carving tool I need, there it is. So Texas Ebony, start on this here. Who has one? Who's killed one?
It almost killed me.
Yeah. Yeah, last time I did a tour through, well, it wasn't the last time, but it was a big tour. I went all the way to Lake Charles and then came back to Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and even went through Gulfport, Mississippi, and then went down to some of the Florida clubs. But in Mississippi, those thorns stayed with me for a month in my flesh. So I have a love-hate relationship with it. For the last year's BSF convention, we had them as workshop trees. We had a gentleman from France. He's the guy that does cosmic bonsai, if you're familiar with that or not. I think Mike Lane has talked about cosmic bonsai a lot. And the amazing thing about these trees is how flexible they can be. So that was one reason I chose it. And because I'm in charge of the convention, I had to work one and wire it and, move that for me? Oh, I was going to get my foot pedal out. Yeah. Now, not to offend you guys, but I think it really should be called the Mexican ebony. Because the natural range, here's Texas, and so it's naturally occurring here in Texas and then Mexico. But, that just gives me something to talk about while I'm getting my tools ready. Look at this. I don't ever have someone do this for me. They come for my demonstrations more often.
I come to every demonstration pretty much, my dear. To talk about what you're using and all that good jazz.
I know what I'm doing, I used to teach the carving class at Weigert's Bonsai. If you guys know Weigert. Had a whole PowerPoint presentation. I hate PowerPoint presentations, so unless you make me do it, I'm not going to do it. But one of the things that, we have safety glasses that we can wear, and we have gloves that Ryan bought for me here.
Sorry, I didn't get the big one.
Well, I didn't want to say this, but most gloves don't fit me. It's kind of like OJ.
Well, I bought it so that I could use it later.
You have small hands, do you? But I wouldn't wear them anyway. But safety glasses are important. These ones I think these ones Jennifer Price gave to me. She saw me carving. She was like, Adam, I know you don't like to wear them, but here, why don't you take these, just so that I feel better about myself. I'll put them on, or I'll put on my sunglasses. You lose. But the main safety thing that I would like to try to encourage people to get, see, I have a foot pedal down here. A lot of these tools, when you turn them on and off, they only have an on and off switch here. This is very dangerous. Because if I were to drop this tool, and this is experience, it will bounce around the room until you unplug it. So imagine chasing it and then running away and chasing it and running away. And I have some scars I can show you to prove that point. So what we do is we turn it on, and then we have this foot pedal, just like a gas pedal. If you see, you can go slow or faster or faster. So I drop it and it just turns off by itself. So get one of those. Plus, it's another thing, but if you guys know how to drive, does anyone not know how to drive? Does anyone think that their partner doesn't know how to drive? So it's just like driving, bing, 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 bing. So Texas Ebony, it's a legume. I cannot pronounce the name exactly, but it's Ebenopsis ebano. Is that good? That sound good to you? Yeah. Yeah, they just changed the name too. I think it used to be like Pithecolobium or something, but they just changed it to its own species. So we need to get a before picture so I can put it on the internet and make myself more famous than I am.
I got you.
Ebenopsis ebano. So basically it's an ebony, like an ebony. Latin is easy sometimes. Sometimes it's not.
Except it's a legume.
It says it's a legume?
It's a legume.
Yeah. And all that means it's in the Fabaceae family, am I right? It's like a pea. Not like a pea, but it's like a pea. You can cut that part. No, I'm kidding. You know, the funny thing, you guys have been to Ryan's house? Anyone been to Ryan's house? So when you walk in, there's like a smell in the front. You know, he fertilizes the bushes in the front because he goes out in the middle of the night naked and pees on them. Naked. Yeah, I said naked. Yeah. Here, stand up and you can edify that image for everybody.
No, we're good.
It's a very short story, you know. I'm sorry. Where'd you get this from?
Some former club member had it.
Former club member? You said you had repotted it this year, or when did you repot it?
Yeah, I picked it up in August, and it's run through its fabric bag and into the ground, so it took a while to dig it out. And then I transplanted or split potted it into this larger container. It did lose a fair amount of leaves, foliage, but looks like it's fully recovered.
What time of the year would you do that? What did you do that in? What time of the year?
August is when I bought it from them, and then I split potted it real quick into here.
Okay. Now there's a little bit of confusion. It is technically deciduous at some point or another. So I always repot deciduous trees in Florida and Orlando in January, February. Because if you do it any earlier, it kicks them out of dormancy and you end up, you know, then you get a freeze in February and it kills all the new foliage. Or if you do it too late, you can kill the tree. So that's when I repot them. But in southern Florida, there's been a lot of people who do it in the summertime and actually do a full repot in the summertime. Every time I've done it, I've killed it. So I cannot give you an idea here when you do it. Anything I say and do is always through the lens of where I am. I try to understand where I live. So I try to understand where I am. And I ask people a lot of questions. When do you do this? When do you do that? So that when other people ask me, I might be able to explain it. But in always take with a grain of salt what any of us visiting artists might say. You know, there was someone, I'm not going to say names, but someone who came in and said, oh, you need to put all of these trees in Akadama. And that tree did not do so well. And so then it was repotted, emergency repot, and now that tree's doing well. So I won't mention names. That was a story I heard. That's for them to tell that story. So whatever I say, always look through the lens of what the local experts have said to you and say, yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's full of crap.
Can you explain what you're using?
These are called scissors. So if you guys know Ryan, he and I, it's like we were separated at birth, yeah.
Why do you think I petitioned Alice, we have to get over here?
So this is a diamond impregnated sharpening card. You can probably not find any, you probably won't find anything like this anymore. This is, let's see here. Yeah, there's several ladies who are not as old as this. This is about 35 years old. I was probably 15 years old when I first started playing with knives. And and that one right there.
Where?
This one right there. There's that pocket over here.
It's this pocket over here?
That's that pocket right there. I think it's that pocket. So what you might find, American Bonsai does sell them that look like this. That's kind of dirty, but it is the same. Nobody? Nobody? Yeah. So diamond impregnated. It's basically a whetstone, and it's metal, and the diamonds don't wear out. So if any of you has used a real whetstone, it wears out, and you end up having this big old thing, and you have to redress the whetstone. This one doesn't ever do it, and it lasts for a long, long time. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just sharpening my tools. So something I tend to do before when I have a little more.
Did the diamond impregnate the metal, or did the metal impregnate the diamond?
Those are my kind of jokes. Come on now. It was actually a man that impregnated the steel with his diamonds. Or woman, I suppose. We can't use those pronouns anymore. So anyway, these are, if you don't want to go through American Bonsai, but I think they're the same price. The company that makes this, United States company from Marlborough, Massachusetts. How about that? It's called Die Sharp, like diamond, D-I-A, and then sharp. But American Bonsai has a bunch of these, and they also have like a butterfly kind of knife one that you can sharpen too. I would recommend if you do buy them, all you really need is the red one and the green one. So what that really means is, man, I could read that years ago. Go ahead, you can laugh. So the red is 500 mesh, 25 micron. So that's kind of like the medium coarse. And then the green is extra fine. It's 1200. So mesh is grit. So 1200 grit. And that's what I use when I like my grafting knives and stuff like that. And you can see it sharpens it enough you can shave your body. Yes?
The grit for the red?
About 500. And then they have one that's the yellow, and that's really what you use to sharpen. All the rest of it is honing. We could talk about that, but I only have about an hour and 15 minutes left. So, okay. Who wants to know about a Texas Ebony? You? So I have a blog post. It's paywalled right now just for this tonight. No, I'm kidding. It has thorns. They hurt when they get stuck in you. They're very slow. Say it again?
It's from Texas, of course it has stores.
Yes. Well, stuff in Florida have thorns too. But yeah, what does that say? The tree again? The Weisach tree. That one has thorns too. But I want one of those. If anyone has one and can get it to me before tomorrow morning when I leave, I would take it. Somebody told me they're very difficult to collect. Is that true?
Collect?
Yeah, to collect them.
Most people that have them want them out of their yard.
Okay.
Very easy to aerate.
Well, yeah, so that's the thing. Most legumes, so we're talking Brazilian rain trees, Texas ebonies, powder puffs, dwarf powder puffs, I even think like those mountain laurel, I saw some mountain laurels, I think those are legumes as well. Anything that's leguminous, they are legumes, are easy to air layer for some reason or another. They tend to be in a symbiotic relationship with the bacteria that's in the soil. The bacteria pulls nitrogen out of the air, which is called nitrogen fixation, and the bacteria will give the nitrogen to the tree, and in the symbiotic relationship, the tree gives sugar to those bacteria. So that's how they live together. Whenever you repot any of those types of trees, always put some of the old soil back in, and don't ever bare root them, and they'll keep going really quickly. Okay. I won't play the game as what the front. I'm probably going to take that as the front right there, because usually that's 15 minutes I can waste, but I don't have 15 minutes to waste. So there's the front of the tree here, because we have kind of wide right like that, and I'm going to carve this, so this is going to be towards the front of the tree, that space right there. Remember, it's $1 a picture, so. How many beginners? No beginners, really? I don't tend to use the big words, but if you want me to, I can, and it'll make me seem like I'm smarter than I am. So smaller words. Okay, let's begin. Let us begin.
It's not fully stable in there. Do you want me to hold the truck while you do it? Kind of wiggle.
Do you really trust me that much?
Well, you do have 10 fingers, so yes.
Well, that might mean that someone else lost them instead of me. I almost had 9 fingers earlier this year. I almost cut my thumb off, but so I'll work and I'll talk. We can talk about just about anything. We can talk soil. I used to make the joke that we don't talk about soil because it's safer to talk about politics. But in today's charged atmosphere, let's talk about soil. So Ryan was telling me that there's a soil that's pretty inexpensive that's available for the club. What's in that soil? What do you put in it?
It's what that is. Expanded shell, turquoise, and pipe bark, and once in a while there's just a little bit of perlite.
So that's a good soil. I am not a soil snob. I'm a sushi snob and I'm a beer snob, but I am not a soil snob. So like I said, I'm not going to come in here and tell you to use this or use that. I do have a soil mix. I sell it. I don't like to sell it out of my state because my mix is designed to drain. I don't use pieces that are very much smaller than that. That looks like akadama too. A little akadama in that one. So I tend to use about that size soil pieces when I work my mix. A lot like Eric Weigert's coarse mix. Some trees I will put pine bark in. And how many people are cringing when I say that? Nobody? Okay. So you guys aren't soil snobs either. There's this interesting study that was done by the United States Department of Agriculture, and they did real science. Like they have thousands of different, hundreds of controls, and using this and using this and using this, and putting just water and putting water and fertilizer that has this nitrogen and more nitrogen and, you know, all these kind of things. So it's real science. And they learned, like we'll talk about a black pine or just pine trees in general. You'd be really surprised what pine trees grow in the best. It's pine bark. And you've heard everybody in bonsai say, don't ever use organics when you're working with pine trees. So, you know, if I put it in, it's not going to be any more than maybe 5 to 10% of pine bark. But the purpose of the pine bark, you know, it holds water, holds fertilizer, but it also has within it, it already has the mycorrhiza that pines need to survive. And mycorrhiza is a fungus that's in symbiosis with the pine tree. So it's already there because it's growing on the pine bark with the soil right there. So, but I always say put more mycorrhiza in it. The turfus, there's a lot of people who don't like turfus. This is pretty small particle size here. That's a good size for clay right there. I think that might be, that's a expanded clay or montomortolite clay, however you say that word. Clay is important in the mix, whether it's akadama or turfus or, you know, the stuff they put around the warning track in football fields. That's the stuff called crimson stone or warning track stone. That's a clay product. Clay is besides pine bark, it's one of the things that holds the most fertilizer. So when we're watering our trees and we put fertilizer on it, 90% of that fertilizer goes out of the bottom of the pot. So what we have to do is we need something in the soil to catch some of that so that the tree has it to use when it does, when, you know, it only uses as much as it needs at that time. So if it's there after you put it on, the tree can use it. The small mix here, that's another thing. Drainage is more of a concept that the smaller the particle, the wetter the tree will be. So if you have a deep pot, you don't really want to put 1/4 inch lava in akadama in it. You want to put smaller. And this is something most people can't understand. The deeper your pot, the drier it will be. And it's easy to explain that. Imagine all the weight of the water pushing down on this. That weight will push the water down to about here. So you'll have a perched water table that's full of water. And if we have another container full of the same exact soil, it's at the same level here, same size drain hole, fill this up with water and let it drain down. Using the same soil, this will drain down to about here. This will drain down to about there. If you look at the volume, this one is a wetter mix or a wetter container than this. Why is that important for trees? You guys know about photosynthesis? Remember 7th, 8th grade science. You have the sun as the power source. You have chlorophyll as your catalyst, your chemical. You have carbon dioxide floating around in the air and it's sucked in through the leaves. And you have water, hydrogen monoxide, H2O, comes up through the roots. And all of that combines, it cracks the molecules and turns it into carbohydrate. Carbon dioxide, hydrogen monoxide, carbohydrate. That happens in the daytime, all right? And it makes sugar. But how does the sugar utilized? Through the roots and through the oxygen, which is the fuel source at this point, and it happens at night. So I'm gonna kind of blow your mind a little bit, but if the tree is not wilting, don't water it after about 3 p.m. because you want as much oxygen at your roots so that the tree can grow at night. And even if it's wilting a little bit, when you wake up in the morning, it won't be wilting anymore. So just trust the process. Okay, let's get moving here. This is only the second time I've seen the tree. Did you send me? You didn't send me a picture, Ryan, did you?
No. I didn't want to know it had 1,000 thorns.
I actually don't prefer to see the tree beforehand anyway, so.
And I did try to cut thorns.
You did?
I don't see any of that.
Branch for an hour and then lost my mind and gave up.
I think that losing of the mind happened some other time.
No comment?
The word you're stretching for it exacerbated your insanity. Yeah, the thorns are mean on this thing. Who was here last for the visiting artist tour? Or who's the last artist you had who did a demonstration?
Was it Andrew or was it Mike Lane? Mike Lane.
So Mike Lane. How long ago?
I think it was in June or July, right?
So you haven't forgotten what he said then, so I can't make up stuff about him.
We also just had a convention in Corpus.
That's right, yeah.
Yep.
And that was Mike Lane and Jennifer Price.
And who was the one from California that was sick?
Oh, Jonas DuPont.
Jones.
Was he sick? I heard that. Was
He
he
had COVID.
had
He
COVID?
got it supposedly at the Nationals. That's the story.
See, that's why you don't go to the Nationals.
So he did it.
Don't go to New York City or New York, Rochester. Who's been to Rochester? You been to Rochester? Like the national show or just visiting? National show.
Goes to Rochester for vacation.
Well, now I'll get in trouble for this if it goes out on the internet, but there's a reason they call it, everyone in New York, they call it Ratchester. Don't stay at what was it? The Econo Lodge in Rochester, yeah.
Well, if you're ill, you can go to Rochester, Minnesota for the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah, but
Difference, wrong state.
so you probably have to make it inside.
It's not a bad place, right? There's a Tim Hortons right next to it, so if you've never seen a Tim Hortons. I don't know that I've ever really had an interesting meal there. So if you guys see me cry, just because these thorns are going to kill me here. Don't judge me too harshly if you see me crying.
So what are you planning as you were pulling this one down, manipulating the branches?
I'm hoping this one would just break off so I don't have to wire it. What I'm doing is seeing how flexible it is to see, how much wire I need to put on it.
No, they didn't fit. He won't wear them anyway. He likes to be able to feel.
Okay,
He's more tactile.
okay.
I'd go and get some, but by the time I came back, you'd probably be done too.
Well, if you don't leave the room, we can't talk about you.
Oh, I thought that's when.
Of course, what I say behind your back, I'll say in front of your back too. What was the question? What am I, basically, I'm looking into the future to what the tree might look like when I'm done. So this is where this branch is gonna go, around right here. It's kind of low, but it's a Texas Ebony, so it kind of has I see this almost like a live oak style with a big old, I'm gonna say this, big old hurricane broken piece in it. Do you guys have hurricanes here? Tornadoes. Okay, the tornado came and ripped the top out. There we go. Bigger tools. I like to show off my tools. This is what used to be the biggest one, and now that kind of makes it look tiny, doesn't it? And for reference, that's the regular size. So it's like, wow, look at how big that is. Then it's like, oh yeah? Yeah, I saw a knife. I think we're good that all of us are old enough to have seen that movie or heard about that movie. And there's like snails on this. They look like they're dead, but there's little snails. Is that a problem here usually, or? Are they tasty? Hmm?
The tools that you just lifted up, can those also be sharpened with the same
Yep.
diamond plate?
Yeah. I'm not going to show you, but yeah. Yeah, it's, you sharpen your knife, you can sharpen your sewing scissors with them, or if you sew. I'm not assuming because you're a woman that you sew.
I have some really expensive horse hook clippers, and they're expensive to replace, so if I can use that to sharpen them up, that would be great.
What brand are they?
They are GE, so I'm looking would be $250. I've had them for 10 years, and I need to make them last, so this is a great tip, thank you. But I don't want to derail you from your actual things.
Well, if you're afraid to do it, just bring it to a professional sharpener, and they can sharpen stuff like that. Tell them to look at farrier tools and stuff like that, because it's a different geometry on plant tools than are on like say sewing scissors or something like that. Switching. So who wants to wire this for me? I'm trying. Where did Ryan go? I don't see him anywhere. I can wire it pretty quickly. Yeah. And the more stuff I cut off, the less I have to wire. I thought you said I didn't have to clean up after myself.
He didn't say you did, he just brought a trash can so he can clean up.
Who's the president?
I'm the vice president, but for today, the president's not here, so.
Oh, so you're cleaning up is the way that works. At least that's how it works in Florida, you know.
First one in, last one to leave.
Make sure you get some of those the pimento sandwiches.
Of course.
So who is not the oldest member, but who is the person who's been doing bonsai the longest here? Nobody wants to?
I got 22.
22?
I've been doing it about 16 years.
16?
How long is that?
23 years?
Whoa. She wins.
I got you all beat. And I'm only 29 years old now. I think I've been doing bonsai about as long as Eric Weigert. He and I are contemporaries. This is. You guys are so quiet. Ah.
Oh, you got one. Oh, my God.
Stick it in there too.
Yeah, that's nice.
Damn you.
Welcome to Texas. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, eh?
That's funny that's a quote. This is me getting deep. That's a quote by Friedrich Nietzsche, German philosopher. And he said that what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. He spent the last years of his life in an insane asylum because he was walking through the streets and he saw this guy whipping a horse that wouldn't move. And it just made him so upset. He beat the guy close to death, and then he just lost his mind after that. So maybe he wasn't right about that part. He was right about the other part about staring into the abyss, and then the abyss starts to stare into you. Yowzer.
You want me to hold anything down?
No, you're fine.
There's the president.
Yay!
And now, you can start the meeting now. Kevin, come hold it.
I was supposed to clean up. Now that you're here, you can clean it.
All right, so one hearing aid's out, one hearing aid's working. Bill had feet since 7 o'clock, so
Sit down.
I apologize. No,
No, you're fine.
I see Urban's working over here. Has the nomination committee, have you announced any names yet?
Not amazing, we need one more person. We need a-
Okay.
Yeah, you're
So-
president for life is what you're going
so
to be.
we have
Yeah.
we have a nominee here. Thank you very much. We will pay for your membership.
I have lots of experience.
The nominating committee has reported back to me, and according to our bylaws, I have to report to you that we have 3 people who have volunteered that want to be on the board. The voting will take place next month in November. And the 3 people that have volunteered are Drew.
Yeah.
There you go. Rob, who is fortunately active, and Gil. So those 3 people volunteered to serve for a 2-year term. That's 2026 and 2027. And so, thank you for being present and representing everybody else. So in the November meeting, we'll really be discussing this and ask if anybody here would like to be on the board. And if not, when you send it on,
You may be able to get that to group.
This will be plenty.
Yeah. Are you doing barbecue or? No.
all right. So while we're all watching Adam here, unless somebody wants to hold a branch, Mr. Barker, rise, please, and talk about your market expansion we're having next month. And just so everybody knows about it, what times? And you were invited too, since you're.
What time do they say? Everybody, we're doing our annual Bonsai Walker Rally, November 8th. Yeah. From 11 to 4. Ryan does have a sign-up genius. He set up for the sign. We're doing fajitas, beef, and chicken fajitas and sausages. So it's going to be simple. It's just great all-night fun, plays with trees, and people that you want to associate with them. Please invite others, or either thing else, others, if they will all already give up. You can bring them anyway if you don't want to make fun of them. Unless they find us out at a but we would like to see all of all there. It's just a lot of fun. The weather will be nice. If not, we'll figure something out. So please come.
You need some help setting up ahead of time to see.
You know what you need is some good,
Maybe the alcohol. That would be nice.
You lost me, I'm sorry.
We do have some people sign up for signs.
yeah, some sanitizer.
Oh, sanitizer.
You know, find out.
Another fun beginning.
Please come, we'll have a great time. We have that.
Put your safety glasses on.
Yeah, you guys are in the splash zone. And you guys have a SeaWorld, so you actually understand that joke. Okay, so you see this? Don't do that to your tool. There's supposed to be a whole guard and a whole handle, and don't do that to your tool. I have 4 children. I prescribe to the do as I say, not as I do parenting method. So don't do that to your tool. Don't- It's a good thing about these battery-powered ones, they stop if you push it too hard. That's what I just checked to see the battery.
How do you decide how far to bring the carving down? How do you choose what to carve out? Experience?
It's mainly experience. So art is all about learning technique and training your eye to see what is, like in bonsai, what's natural, what looks good. So you eventually, it's just experience, like you said. As far as how deep I can go on something like this, essentially the whole inside of any tree, not a portulacaria, but a tree is dead. So I could totally hollow this out and not damage the tree, not kill the tree. So that gives me that. But basically, you look at how wood decays on old trees, and you try to mimic that look. An easy way, a good shortcut would be, think of the way that water flows down, and that's how you create the lines as you carve. because it's all about water in the slow degradation of the wood from the water as it goes down. So that's the easy way. The long way is just you have to do it a lot. And all of the carvers all have their own way of doing it and their own eye and their own style. So you have to develop your own style or just learn how to copy somebody else's style, which is not a bad thing to do because there are so many artists who have copied what Picasso did and made whole careers just doing one thing that Picasso did, and Picasso did everything before everyone else did. People think Picasso and they think like Cubism, but he could paint like Degas when he was 10 years old. Not Degas, Rubens and, you know, the old Renaissance people. He could paint that well. He went to school, and at one point the professors are like, we can't teach you anything else. But it was all that, it really screwed him up that he learned all this early, because one of his most famous lines is, I could paint like, you know, I could paint a Rubens when I was 10, but it took me the rest of my life to learn how to draw like a child. But what does that mean? To draw with pure joy and abandonment, and to just make something that made him happy instead of made other people happy. So there's all kinds of stuff. I'm full of it sometimes. Let's talk to my wife.
It's all on your blog, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of this on my blog. I once wrote a blog post. The title was When Tigers Used to Smoke, and something else like that. It's you know, I get really deep sometimes. Might have to do with the bourbon, so. It's time to sharpen this. I do play guitar too, so it's like a wah-wah pedal. Sorry. Yeah.
He did that.
Wow. Beautiful.
Anyone have a lighter? Anybody, lighter?
Well, he's just made one to light his torch, probably, if he doesn't want to light.
Probably don't need it, but. Nobody with a lighter? You think I'd be smart and put one in here, but. Is there a stove? Okay. No lighter. Just have to carve it.
While we're watching our new board member, Adam, it's gonna get old, but you'll be out of here before you get mad at me. So we have raffle items here, as well as fruit. I forgot the cash box, so we will do this either on a system.
I have cash.
You have
A bunch of
Okay,
different
Greg,
sizes
so
in
we have
here.
$1 raffle ticket,
That's good.
$5
That's
raffle
good, yeah.
ticket. That is a $5 raffle ticket.
I'm done carving, so don't worry about closing it up.
Okay.
And it's the same
The mistake I
color,
make is I forget to
$1
close it
raffle
and I get sawdust everywhere, as you see, right?
I will get those raffle tickets.
Here you go, Vice President.
No, I shouldn't need too much help. Until I start crying. If you see me cry, just come and help me out here. Seeing if you can steal it.
Chainsaw etched in these, or whatever, sure.
Yeah.
So did you see the advertisement for, that Gabe created using Adam's logo with the big chainsaw? We put it on LSBF and San Antonio. Well, I'm gonna pass around this tool, so don't drop it. But he has that chainsaw etched into all his tools, so that when he does this, nobody steals it, so I'll pass it around while he's doing it. But
Right, and I do have, if anybody wants a shirt, like what Richard's wearing or like what I'm wearing, we did bring them with us to SABS, if anybody wants one.
With a saw.
I mean, there's a one.
Jeez.
So the can at the very end that Gabe is holding up, that is the raffle ticket for your new tree. Just don't get the tears rolling down my faces. Jeez. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's from Samurai Tools.
Where do you get these?
Samurai Tools is who makes those. And used to be expensive, now it's pretty cheap.
You can get it for that, I think that's the 6 millimeter.
You can try.
Question.
Yes.
The tree is flexible as this. Do you keep the wire on longer?
Sometimes you do need to do that. Yeah. Sorry. Sometimes you do need to keep it on longer. Sometimes not. Sometimes as soon as you cut it, it lignifies very quickly. So you know Yopon holly? You let it grow and don't cut it. You have super flexible branches. As soon as you cut it, it turns into like iron. So you could have like a branch this big that's been cut, and a branch this big that hasn't been cut, and this one is a lot more flexible than that one. And see how different thickness. So it just depends on the tree. Like if it's a ficus, which is very flexible, you need to keep it on and let it start cutting in and take it off and put it going the other way. Or else it's just, you're just wasting your time.
Hey Adam, Vicky off from your
Oh,
Portugal
how you doing?
class. Good to see you.
I thought you were shorter for some reason. I guess, sitting on the thing there.
It's different when you see somebody on the screen.
Yeah. I thought you were in this club and you looked very familiar.
Yes, I'm sorry I wasn't able to do a workshop. I had previous commitments.
That's okay. It was kind of weird timing too. Ryan and I are like, well, let's do it here. No, there's the national shows happening there. Well, how about this one? No, I'm going to be in Missouri. So it was the last. I could come in January, but what are we doing in January? So.
Yeah. I did Zoom sessions with Adam during COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was doing Portugal area through Bonsai Supply. They had these different workshops you could do, and then I had just started, and I was so did some just private sessions, and I'm like, what do I do? Where do I cut this Portugal area?
Yeah, that was the most difficult thing. We're sitting. No, not that one. No, cut this one over here. Let me see.
Like he just said, well, why do you want me to cut that one? Well, because it's on the inside of the curve. Oh, okay.
What was fun about that? There was the one time there was a guy from India that just came on. And it wasn't Portugal-Caria, but we still talked.
Sawdust on her to make it look like she was doing something.
Yeah, so there was Jerome, and then there was you, and then Pedro did that.
Pedro, yeah.
Pedro did that.
When I first started, I didn't want to cut anything off. What do you mean cut that off? That's beautiful.
How fast that was.
That is beautiful.
Do you still need a lighter? I might have one.
No, it'll maybe. I'm not sure we're gonna have time, but yeah. I appreciate that. I thought I had one in there, but it's just not there. Or I could just, go buy a new one that's not worn out.
I don't think so. I always like that way.
Can try.
I can see those thorns from where I'm sitting. Up close, it's like, man, there.
You want this?
The shape, or it will go back to the way it was.
Oh, will it keep the shape? No, it should keep the shape. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Drew and Martine for the spread. So,
Did you get some food?
Not yet, but I'm hoping somebody makes a plate. Huh?
The curry ones, there's different ones, they're not ours.
Really?
Curry,
Not food.
chicken salad, and, yeah. And there's banana pudding.
I saw get like a thing of
And
banana.
maybe a couple banana pudding, yeah. I'll get you one, so don't worry. I'll ship a plate. 2 plates. Right. For the road tomorrow to Austin, we can snack our sandwiches.
Richard, did you let the club it is? Everybody here? So everybody knows?
Oh, you found a longer room.
There you go. Stay away from the thorns.
I'd take all the fun out of it.
I think they emptied out the trash can pretty much. Maybe that was one.
Nope, sorry.
Nope, that's okay.
I guess I need one too.
No, you actually need a bigger broom.
Would you stop trucking sawdust all over my house?
Get under here. Green work, fix the green work. So I go into the house for the room and I said, "You made a mess." She said, "You'll always do." This is a super mess. Adam, hold still.
I'll dust off when I get into Ryan's truck.
Hope you got thick soles. You step on one of those thorns.
Oh,
it's going
yeah, I
right
do.
through. Right through, yeah.
That's why I wear boots.
We have about 20 minutes before we start taking everything down. Just heads up. Or we continue in the parking lot. We have done that.
We have done that.
We had a very successful auction.
You're welcome.
Children, do not try this at home.
Well, I'm trying to work here.
Seriously, this is a safety hazard.
Watch your eyes.
I get over here. Get in the garbage.
Found a bigger broom.
You asked the question. Yes. He does that. And he's got
That one's tucked in.
Making me feel, give me a complex here.
No, you're fine. I'm just trying to.
Texas Ebony will like really roll in. You know how like
Yep.
maples really roll in,
Yeah,
and
it-
others just like persimmon will just stay like they are.
It will roll in. I actually carved off some of that where it was doing it.
Oh, nice.
So you can see right there. There's
Oh,
some.
that's gonna
See
be
how
awesome.
much it rolled in?
Yeah, nice.
So it does it pretty well. It'll be a really distinct
Right.
living dead section. I'm not done yet, you know.
Progress, press, progress photos.
Ugh. Everybody's quiet again. Talk amongst yourselves.
Can you share what we missed, since we missed the fire feature? Which part would have been burned and what would have been resulted in?
Sorry.
Do we have a pet?
Do we have a medic? So do you see, you have to come up and see when I'm done, but there's these little pithy pieces of wood, the fibers. So the fire burns those off and just makes it look cleaner, and it helps to age it, make it look older than, you know, this white, freshly cut wood.
Adam, do you treat the wood?
Yes, just with lime sulfur. Yeah.
Do you dilute your lime sulfur, or
Do I what?
do you dilute your lime sulfur, or do you use it full strength?
No, I use it full strength. It's like saying, do you put water in your whiskey?
And what does it apply it to? Does it just go to anything exposed, because we still wanted to peel over too, what's the count?
That's actually a good question. Just put it all over the whole dead wood. In Japan, they will say, like, you have the green, or the Japanese maple that has the green bark. Put lime sulfur on that, it turns it into looking like regular bark instead of that green stuff. So there's your alternative use. If you have a pet that has scabies, it helps with that too. I'm not joking. That's a serious. And in fact, do we have any like retailers in here?
Any what?
Bonsai retailers? No. So if you want to buy lime sulfur and get it for a fifth of the cost, you go onto like chewy.com or Amazon and you buy a veterinarian pet dip. It's lime sulfur, same formulation that we use. Just don't buy the one that smells like lavender or something like that, unless you want your trees to smell like lavender. And it's same exact stuff. And you can buy a container like a quart for the same price that you buy that little container. That 20 or $30 or $30, and they ship it to your house. Damn you, Ryan. Oh, here's a question. So how many people in this club have actually said "damn you, Ryan"? So now I'm a member of that club too, I take it. Am I the president of that one? Or I think maybe after this demonstration I might. Look at this. There's
So enough about trees. Are you a proponent of, it looks like you're a proponent for wiring all the way out to the end, where some artists are now just wiring a couple of inches, and then kind of letting it grow and then working it back and forth?
That's an interesting question. I can go all kinds of places with that. Why do you think that they do that? Why do they tell you that?
Well, usually I found it more on the showings, and so they're trying to get movement right away, and then they're, I'll just shut up.
So why they say that, as if you're working in a nursery and you're trying to develop a tree, it doesn't matter how pretty or ugly it is, because the customer doesn't see it till the end. Sorry, I have a thorn in my throat. So that's why they always say you should grow a sacrifice branch and do this. Just don't swallow it. That's a professional way of looking at bonsai, right? Most everyone here want bonsai that look good. So why would you do that to your tree? Why don't you make it look good and you can enjoy it the whole time? It doesn't necessarily destroy what's going to happen in the future, but it looks good until you get to that future part. Eric and I had a discussion, Eric Weigert and I had a discussion once, where the question was, should you do that? Should you wire just a little bit and let the rest of it grow to thicken up the branch and all that kind of stuff? And both he and I came to the realization that you eventually get there where you need to be. It's just a little bit slower if you have a tree that's styled the whole time, as opposed to one you just grow in one branch and grow in one branch and grow in one branch. So that's the reason why they tell you that. And it just has to do with, the answer to that question is, do you want to get there doing it this way? Do you want to get there doing it that way? Do you want to have, when guests come over and you want to have all these weird things with graphs and all these things on it, and they're like, what is that? Is that dead? Or do you want them to look, oh wow, that's a cool bonsai tree? And do you want to sit when you're sipping coffee looking at a tree or looking at this 20-foot tall sacrifice branch? Now, you might do both. Like have a nice collection that you look at, and have over in the back where people can't see it, things you're developing. So it's just really, what do you want to get out of bonsai depending on how you style your tree. So like I'll say, you'll see on my blog, I'll totally defoliate the tree before I put the wire on. As you see here, I'm not doing it with this because I can do it all quicker the defoliation and all that stuff is done to show you how it's done so you can see the branches. I can see the branches now, but until you train your eye to see what's there, defoliation is a good way of seeing the tree before you wire it. So it's all where you are with that particular tree and what you want to do with it and where you are in the art, whether it's a hobby or whether it's a passion that you just can't get beyond and you have to do it, you know, whether your wife or your children believe you should do it, or, you know, all these things, all these questions you ask yourself. Where are you at it? And like I said at the beginning, each one of you has an idea of what you want to bonsai and what you want to get out of bonsai. It's not really here for me to say you're doing it wrong. What's the song? You take the high road and I'll take the low road, which I generally do take the low road, you know. If you read my blog, you'll understand the jokes. You take the low road sometimes.
Now, as a follow-up question, how do you still like Texas Ebony?
I still like them. Kind of like, you know, the child that talks back at you. You know, I taught them how to do that. You know, I taught them to question authority. So sometimes I don't like them, but I always love them, you know. Yeah, that's one thing that...
They make beautiful bonsai.
They do, as long as you don't touch them.
To whoever wins this tree, I did not water it, or the last time I think I watered it was yesterday morning, so do water it tonight or early tomorrow.
You can cut out that little curse I just made there if you want. Okay, I have 5 minutes left. I'm pretty much done right there. So I kind of went almost live oak, almost flat top on the top. This is a really good candidate for clip and grow if you didn't notice yet. Just be careful when you clip and grow that. I'm only bleeding in a couple of spots here. 1, 2. When I wash, ooh, that one hurt. When I wash my hands, not so bad, not as bad as you. When you just put it in the car. Yeah. Now, as to give you the, whoever wins this, it develops quicker if you cut it more often. I've had them sit on my bench and do nothing for years and not even cut in the wire. And if I say make it grow, I don't mean just let it grow willy-nilly. Grow it with intent. So if anything else grows on this that's not part of a design, cut it off. Only let the branches develop. Like here, we want secondary branches that come off here, but if it grows in the middle or grows down from here, cut it off. Only let the stuff that's going to develop the branch grow. This will mark the front of the tree, and you look at it like this, almost like a gun sight. And you can see I picked the...
Oh, he got you. He got you.
Can't give you anything to play with.
No. So...
Fingers for the next 3 days.
Yeah. I'm going to blame you everywhere I go for the rest of the...
I'll block you.
I don't want anybody to push this trash can down, that's for sure.
That's why he was late.
Oh.
Oh, you're a snorter too.
Yeah. You got 1 minute. 1 minute. You get your final photographs. Other than that, water it, fertilize it. Oh, so remember I was talking about the bacteria that grows in here that is in symbiosis with the tree? If you use a really high nitrogen fertilizer, which could be like Miracle-Gro, but could also be something that has really straight, like blood meal, has high nitrogen, you could kill that bacteria and set the tree back. The bacteria is there for drought, for cold, and it keeps the tree healthy. If you put nitrogen on it, it'll grow and it'll be nice and green and grow fast, but something happens, doesn't have that mycorrhiza, or doesn't have that bacteria in there to keep it alive in the times of trouble. So try to grow, keep your soil alive. Bacteria, fungus, sometimes even bugs. You don't want earthworms in bonsai soil. They're good in the ground, but not in bonsai soil. There's some ants that are good, some ants that are bad. So I just kill most of the ants. But that's it. For those of you taking video.